Good morning, my name's Wyatt Bacon and I am the Future of Work consultant for this organisation. Today, I'll be presenting on rethinking productivity in remote work. More specifically, I'll be looking at how presenteeism and communication gaps are acting as barriers to organisational performance. I'll walk through two key issues, show how they're connected, and then finish with some practical recommendations. Since COVID-19, there has been a rapid shift towards hybrid and remote work. This shift has allowed organisations to become more flexible and has opened up access to a global talent pool. For many organisations, remote work is no longer temporary, it is now a long-term strategy. However, while the way we work has changed quite quickly, the way organisations manage work has not evolved at the same pace. And this gap between new ways of working and old management styles is where many of the current challenges begin. The first key issue is digital presenteeism or online presenteeism. This is where productivity is judged based on visibility rather than actual outcomes. For example, employees may be evaluated based on their online status, maybe how quickly they respond to messages, or even how many hours they appear to be working. So instead of focusing on the results, there is a focus on being seen as active. This creates what we call an always-on culture, where employees feel pressure to constantly appear available, and over time, this leads to micromanagement, reduced autonomy, and ultimately, it can reduce actual productivity rather than improve it. The second issue is unstructured communication. In a remote environment, communication is no longer automatic, it needs to be designed. However, many organisations don't have clear systems in place. Employees may not know which tools to use or even when to use them. This often leads to an over-reliance on meetings, messages, and constant check-ins. And at the same time, informal communication, like quick chats in the office, are significantly reduced. This can lead to misalignment of tasks and goals, slow down the decision-making processes internally, and even duplication of work. So overall, collaboration becomes less efficient and more frustrating. What's important here is that these two issues are not separate, they actually reinforce each other. When communication is unclear, managers have less visibility over what is being done. To compensate for that, they increase monitoring. This leads directly to digital presenteeism, where employees focus on appearing productive rather than being productive. This then further weakens communication and the cycle continues. And it can create what we can describe as a productivity trap. And the result is reduced productivity, increased burnout, lower engagement, and less collaboration across teams. So to address these challenges, organisations need to rethink how remote work is managed. First, there needs to be a shift to outcome-based performance. This means measuring results rather than activity, and setting clear goals and KPIs so employees know what success looks like. Second, organisations need structured communication systems. This includes defining clear communication channels and setting expectations for response times and finding the right balance between meetings and asynchronous work. And finally, leadership capability is critical. Managers need to be trained to lead remote teams effectively, with a focus on trust rather than control. Overall, these changes move organisations away from monitoring behaviour and towards enabling performance. These insights are supported by a combination of academic research and industry reports, which you can see on the slide now. Thanks very much for your time.